Have you ever felt like you were being taken advantage of by your own kindness? Have you ever helped someone only to be met with indifference, ingratitude, or even trouble? Oh, in a world full of diverse people like we have today, not everyone deserves your kindness. Imagine this. You spend your time and effort helping someone you think needs support, but in the end, they disappear when you need help in return. Or worse, they continue to bring you endless problems. Sounds familiar? In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 types of people you absolutely should not help. These aren't just life lessons. They're also ways to protect your kindness and avoid unnecessary troubles. Don't rush away, because by the time you finish watching this, you'll realize that kindness, when placed in the right spot, is a strength, but when misplaced, it becomes a burden. 1. The ungrateful or unappreciative person. Have you ever felt like you were wasting your kindness? You go all out to help someone, but all you get in return is indifference or even criticism. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Oh man, it not only leaves you disappointed, but it also slowly eats away at your trust in the best qualities of human nature. This is no small issue, because people who are ungrateful or unappreciative can make your kindness feel meaningless. They not only take your help for granted, but are also ready to demand more, with an attitude of indifference and even disrespect. It's terrifying. Just think about it. Is there any reason to keep helping people like that? They never say thank you. Every time you do something for them, they're not satisfied, and might even compare or criticize you for not doing better. Sounds pretty bitter, right? Think about it. Why should we put ourselves in a situation where we're looked down upon like that? Remember this. Gratitude is the foundation of all good relationships. Without gratitude, the support you give someone isn't just overlooked, it becomes a psychological burden on you. Worse, this type of person will make you lose trust in human kindness itself. Is that worth it? Don't confuse kindness with blindness. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Gratitude is the greatest virtue of a person. People who lack this virtue aren't worth your time, energy, and sincerity." So, stay alert. Don't let these people drain you mentally and emotionally. Do you find yourself in a similar situation? Think back. Every time they criticize your help, every time they ignore your efforts, how does that make you feel? Sad, angry, or just simply drained? Yes, these types of people not only take your energy, but also make you doubt the value of kindness itself. Stop. Don't keep falling into this negative cycle. You absolutely have the right to set limits on your kindness. Don't let anyone make you lose confidence in yourself and the value of what you do. Save your kindness for those who truly appreciate it, and say thank you. And you know what? This message isn't just for you. If you find this content meaningful, share this video right away. Maybe some of your friends are in a similar situation and they need a wake-up call too. Help them realize kindness isn't infinite, and not everyone deserves to be helped. Gratitude is a gift, and you deserve to receive that gift from the people you help. Don't forget that, okay? 2. The troublemaker who won't take responsibility. There's that type of person in life. No matter how hard you try, they just can't change. They're always creating problems and never taking responsibility for their mistakes. They'll always find a way to blame others or the situation, but never realize that they themselves are the cause. You've probably met people like that, right? Every time they run into trouble, instead of standing up to solve it, they look to you or someone else to clean up the mess. It's not fair that you always have to be the one to carry the load for them, is it? These people, no matter how many times you help, will keep making the same mistakes. And each time, you end up in that endless cycle, tired and disappointed. How can you keep helping them if they don't learn from their own mistakes? This really isn't something you need to be doing. You can't change them if they don't want to change. And no one can learn and grow if someone else is always stepping in to take the consequences for them. The truth is, helping these kinds of people doesn't actually help them. It only drains you more. The more you help, the more dependent they become, and they'll never learn how to stand on their own. In reality, they need to face their problems themselves, figure out solutions, and take responsibility for the consequences of their own choices. Don't think that you can change someone just because you want to help them. Sometimes, the best way to help someone is to let them take responsibility for their actions themselves. Let them stand up, fix their mistakes, and grow from their own failures. Because when you do it for them, you're just making them weaker. Remember, your life matters too. You can't trade your time, energy, and effort to help people who don't know how to stand up for themselves. We need to help those who truly want to change and take responsibility for their own lives. So think carefully about whether you should help these types of people in your life if you don't want to end up with unnecessary troubles for yourself. 3. The complainer who refuses to change. You know, there are people who are always complaining about life, but when you offer them a solution, they don't do anything at all. You may have been very patient, trying to offer advice, even encouraging them to make a change, but all your efforts are ignored. It's really exhausting, isn't it? Do you feel like you're caught in this cycle without seeing any positive results? Oh no, I understand that feeling. These people just want to grab your attention and get your sympathy, but they don't actually want to change. You might spend hours talking, showing them how to do things, but in the end, all you get is complaints and excuses about their circumstances. The more you help, the more you feel drained, because you realize one simple thing: they don't want to change, they just want to complain. I'm sure you've seen this scenario before. They keep talking about the difficulties in life, but when you give advice, when you suggest they do something to change, they ignore it and keep going in circles. It's frustrating, isn't it? You can't change anyone if they don't want to change themselves. Don't waste your time on people like this. When you try to help them and they don't want to help themselves, you get nothing but disappointment. You can be patient. You can try to offer advice as many times as you want. But in the end, you'll gain nothing but emotional and mental exhaustion. The reality is, you can't save someone if they don't want to save themselves. No one can change their circumstances if they're not ready to change themselves. This is a very profound and practical saying. No one can help those who don't want to change, because change is a personal process that everyone has to go through on their own. So, stop. Don't waste your time and energy on people who don't want to improve their lives. We all have our limits, and sometimes helping yourself is more important than helping others, especially when they're not willing to change. We can only help those who are willing to put in the effort to change their own lives. The rest is just a waste of time. 4. The critic who rejects every kind of help. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you spent time and effort helping someone, only to receive criticism and complaints instead of thanks? Oh, I understand that feeling. You do your best, but they're never satisfied, always finding something to criticize. And the worst part is, they don't even recognize or appreciate the help you've given them. Honestly, you feel like you're standing against an emotionless wall, don't you? Really? Every time you think you've done enough, they make a new demand, complain about how you did things, making you wonder if you did something wrong. It's not that they don't know you tried your best. It's because they'll never be satisfied. And then, instead of being appreciative, you get nothing but disrespect, making you question if all your efforts were worth it. Dealing with people like this really drains you, doesn't it? The more you try to do better, the more they demand from you. And in the end, you realize that all they give you is criticism, not gratitude. You've poured yourself out, but the only thing you get is thoughtless words, making you feel like your support meant nothing. Helping people like this will only leave you emotionally hurt. You not only waste time and effort, but also harm your self-confidence. This lack of respect doesn't just tire you out, it also makes you wonder, did I do something wrong? Or do I deserve to be treated this way? You won't be able to keep helping if you're not receiving recognition and respect in return. Emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "Gratitude is the sign of a noble soul." Indeed, gratitude is not just a polite gesture, it's a fundamental virtue of every human being. A person who appreciates the help of others is one who has a noble and refined heart. And conversely, ingratitude not only hurts those who help, but also impoverishes the person themselves. So, remember that your kindness is deserving of those who appreciate it. Don't let ingratitude rob the value of the kind gestures you offer. You deserve to hear words of thanks, not unreasonable criticism. 5. The one who always takes advantage of others' goodness. There are people in life who you'll feel like they just come and go without leaving anything behind. Have you ever met someone like that? They always show up when they need you, constantly asking for help, but when you're in a tough spot, you never see them around. Oh boy, do you feel like you're just a tool for them to achieve their goals? They come only to use you, with no care or appreciation whatsoever. Honestly, do you feel exhausted when your kindness is drained, but you never get any gratitude in return? You help them, sacrifice time, energy, and emotions, yet nothing gets reciprocated. Does that feeling make you feel betrayed? And the question is, do we always have to help people like that? The answer is simple, because they don't see you as a friend. They see you as a tool to get what they want. And once they've gotten what they need, they'll move on to find someone else to exploit. Oh, how heartbreaking, right? If you find these things helpful, don't forget to like and share this video to help others recognize these signs, so they don't fall into the trap of exploitative people. Be cautious. Don't let your kindness be taken advantage of again. Oh, you might be thinking, really? Are there people like that? But surely, you're not the only one who's gone through this. Maybe you trusted them too much, and now you're realizing they only came to you when they needed something. Honestly, if you're not careful, you'll always be their easy prey. They only show up when they need you, then disappear when you face difficulties. So, are they really friends? Or are they just users whom you thought were friends? They never care about your feelings or what you're going through. They only demand, expect, and never feel guilty or plan to reciprocate. Oh, how uncomfortable that feels. You spend time, effort, and emotions to help, but everything just disappears without a thank you. You feel drained and get nothing in return except for emptiness. Are you starting to feel like you've been foolish? But you know what? Don't let these people take away your faith in helping others. Set boundaries for yourself. Don't let them take everything you have without giving anything back. Marcus Aurelius' quote is so true. No one can exploit you if you don't allow it. Protect your kindness. Set clear boundaries with exploitative people. We are not tools for anyone, and helping others should come from respect, not exploitation. When you meet such people, remember that not everyone you help will treat you the way you expect. I hope through this video, you'll realize and make the right considerations when helping others. Help is something to be cherished, but it must be given to the right people at the right time. I hope you'll recognize these things. If you found today's video useful, don't forget to like and share this video so others can realize that our kindness should be given to those who truly appreciate it. Help those who are truly thankful and value your help, and your kindness won't be wasted on those who don't deserve it.